and welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Holden, and we this week are going to be exploring marks. I'm going to be putting more energy into my collage and with the marks and creating collage at the same time. So as you can see, I'm setting up, and I just left a little bit of the volume in because I love the sound of, when I'm watching other videos, of the crinkling paper, the snappy lids, and all of that. I will be leaving the colors, and all the materials in the comments below this video. So I have my usual orange, yellow oxide, the cadmium yellow hue, I think it's deep hue, Mars black fluid with Liquitex. So I use a combination of golden Liquitex, and I have now, I don't use any of the craft paint so much just because it's so much flatter, and I'm liking the quality of Liquitex, and that's what we get up here. So as you can see, the transparency of all of these papers, which I absolutely love. So it's a combination of, which I show you coming right up, the wax paper, no, not wax paper, deli paper, old encyclopedia paper, old maps, pens, Posca pens, and I was just feeling very inspired to explore my own mark making and to build my own library of marks. So there it is. That I've ordered from Amazon, and that's the deli paper. And if you can find at garage sales, secondhand books, anything like technical stuff, sci-fi stuff, which I love, and of course, which I have difficulty finding, large text from magazines and things. I just said, I don't want to go, and I have enough paper in my studio. So I think this vellum, it's not like the old vellum, it's very translucent, a little on the delicate side, but I'm going to be, as I'm saying, writing here, line, shape, pattern, and just to see what happens. So I'm using my usual China marker here, and as I've said repeatedly, I'm not thinking. I don't want to think. I want to be present with what's in front of me. I want to just respond to what is there. New set of water-soluble oil pastels, which is so cool. I didn't really use them advantageously enough for their thin layer of transparency. So I'm using the Caran d'Ache water-soluble pencils instead. And just getting into it, you know, playing. I didn't have any music playing in the background because I was debating, should I do a voiceover? Do I want to talk at the same time? But not this time. But I think when I can just do it automatically, or intuitively is my word, then I can. But it interrupts my flow, so that's why I'm doing a voiceover this week. So as you can see, veiling, I didn't get into veiling so much, and that's okay too, because I was called to use these brushes, just my flat brush, that orange from the last video with the making intuitive shapes. Oh, I loved how that turned out because it was very, the values were so much lighter. And these tops, I went and searched in my studio and couldn't find them. Maybe they plugged up, and maybe at that time I threw them away because I didn't see the value in them. Oh, it works so well. Now, I could have left those lines as is, and as you can see, I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll just do a monoprint. And I know it's going to change it, but wow, you can get a really cool mirrored shape on another piece. And see if you can see the pencil, or the it was pencil, China marker, And when you veil it, it just has this really cool effect. So the more you do that, as I said right there in that caption, you just get into this flow and you get comfortable with your marks, and it's all about the sequencing of your marks, which is the layers. You might want to make some marks, veil them, and then add your color. And as I've said, the purpose for this set of exploration is to create some collage and using my own gestural marks. So this was another piece. It was awesome. And after I used the raw umber, and then it needed a little sprinkle, it's so thick, so that'll be a really interesting piece. And how you can use these, of course, is I'm going to just tear the sections I want and use them either on in my intuitive art journaling pages or on with other mixed media. Either on a wood panel or my series of small abstract artworks. That is the next step after you become really comfortable and start learning about layering, what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like. So using found objects around your house is also a really good thing to experiment with. And I love the drawing element of a pencil in amongst all of this. So I'm just going to let that dry. And so today's video should have been called Without a Jelly Plate. But a jelly plate printer is amazing. I'm not knocking that at all. I love it. I just wanted some more marks. And of course, I'm finding just that little sprinkle is really cool. And not too much, so wiping up the area. Now, these old maps, depending on the encyclopedias or old books that you find, are really cool too. So I thought, well, if I use just blue, and this is the light blue and the turquoise from Liquitex, and just go across different thicknesses. It was a little too thick because I want to see the map shapes underneath. I don't know how I'm going to use them yet, but that's for next week's video. Okay, and then you could use the brayer from the beginning to, you could use line and then change the lines with the brayer. That's Dexter. You can hear him in the background. He's feeling sorry for himself today. Who knows? Okay. Oh, so this piece. So this was, oh yeah, and you see these are really cool. The gyroscope. These technical drawings are so cool. Now, I cover up a lot of it, but whatever's left, even that little piece that you need along with the text, can be really, really interesting. And I'm really having fun with my blue, yellow, and orange. Haven't used a lot of black and white yet, but that's coming up. So stay tuned, stay to the end, because I really jam-packed this video this week with all sorts of, I just couldn't stop. I just ran out of time. And you can so easily get into a great flow. I realized too, looking at some other work, that I didn't have blue circles. I had a lot of black, a lot of white, and you know, some blue is really needed. And see, when you spread them out, it's sort of a calmer energy. And that was sort of in the back of my mind. That's why I said I'm exploring with energy, marks, while making my own collage. And color, shape, that'll be another thing that I want to explore. So as you explore, play, and discover, as I say on my channel, one thing leads to another. And you just start. And you see how I cropped them off the edge? Very important. So I might, I don't know if I like that. It doesn't matter, So next time I'll leave those and not touch them with the brayer. But I just love that little sprinkle. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. So here we go. So use a sequence of elements repeatedly to really become familiar with them. With the marks, with the tools, and with your sequencing of layers, because it's all about the layers. It's all about letting it happen and responding. So veiling right away. Love that. And I noticed when I was doing it, because it's white on white, there's those little line maker bottle things. I don't know the proper name. I know I do. I just forget right now as I'm doing my voiceover. And it's so much fun. And I like to do the symmetrical thing, folding things in half. I don't know if I do that. No, I use the brayer. So I'm going to do that next time. So don't forget, even in for your collage pieces, using that alcohol ink. There we go. Just a spatter. Don't overdo it. You need to leave breathing room on your collage. You need to leave space so that the previous layer can show through. And that's the building up of all of your own lexicon of marks, shapes, patterns in line. A little drying. And I'm really loving how the deli paper is so transparent and really holds up. So if you haven't tried deli paper, you really need to get some, and it's so inexpensive. I like that. So what papers do you see so far in the video that you really like? I love the sporadic and the energy in those marks. I'm loving my blue circles. Oh, and then I decide, okay, what would be another great contrast or difference? Okay, with chaos, sporadic marks, orderly circles, or man-made marks, whatever the difference you can pick. There's more than one in this particular contrast. I can't wait to start making the art with these. I haven't planned anything yet because, as you know, it's all in the process, and I'm just gonna let it happen. So I hope and you really are enjoying the content lately. I've been, as you can see, changing things up a bit, adding more how-to rather than just doing a page every week, and pushing myself in this intuitive art process as well. And I really like using that dryer, loving how it veiled those marks, but yet you see the boldness of the circles and then the less contrast of the lines near them. And then on top, see, they get pushed into the background, and then you can use a stencil. You could use the full stencils. You could then let this paper dry and use it with stencils on a jelly plate for that extra layer. And I think I'm going to do that, and I will show you a little bit of that next week. So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where I use these and demonstrate different ways to use these types of collage papers in your work. Really enjoyed that. And that's just the grocery store thing. You find the feta cheese filter. I thought, wow, any series of any little shape is really cool. Love it. And you see when I put my hand behind it, I'm just showing that's how I'll tear it. And then I thought, well, I don't really have more blue circles like the ones on the left. And those are made on a much crispier but even more transparent paper, the baking sheet paper and tracing paper. So they're both pretty much the same, but wow, so cool. And I just sort of sped this up. It's always cool watching how each individual stamp circle is so different depending on how much paint gets on that aluminum pipe and where I place it. So really tight together and really far apart, sporadic, in a row, not in a row. The energy changes. So that's the thing. Exploring differences in color. I love this one. And that was just a sporadic, energetic mark. This orange with white, a little bit of the cad yellow medium, using that color shaper, and the deli paper can really stand up. And if you wanted, you could even spritz it with a little water, and I've done that, to make the paint thinner. Yeah, there I go. Now watch this. And it doesn't tear, and then you can see those marks underneath the black. So as you want to have, you know, at least I did for this piece. A little bit more pencil. What else? Oh, what am I? Oh, black. So we're going black. That was my calendar reminding me about something. Oh yeah, look at that. So cool. So these are very energetic. There's that piece of collage. I need to make more. And I'm showing you that because it was that one that, oh yeah, so it's on the side. I need more of those. And then making line with Posca pens. Just gestural marks, dots, whatever comes to mind. Okay. So welcome if you are new to the channel. I know I should have said this earlier, and I will probably do that. And it's all about intuitive abstract art journaling and where we can take it, following our intuition and just responding and exploring, playing, and discovering our true art one layer at a time. Oh yes, the gel pens, so cool. So in the next collage, it was those scribbly lines that I followed my instincts with that kind of mark. Okay, oh yes, I love orange, pink, and yellow together. Who knows how I'll use that. So cool. And notice I left a lot of space. Okay, now for some brightness and contrast. So I believe I'm using my corrugated cardboard here with black. And making the collage at first is so amazing, but using a big giant piece of this in a piece of work, I don't know. Of course, it depends on your background colors. It depends what you're looking for. And you don't need to do the same thing with your collage piece all over. You can have different sections. It saves a lot of time, gives you more variety and choice. Oh, nice. So what I was thinking was, and they needed to be dried, so it's big, thick black lines, because I'm going to come over them with another layer. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. At least 3 or 4 layers of marks, circles, shapes, whatever it is, on your collage. It really makes it rich, and you don't have to go high contrast. Actually, it's better to go subtle And I will be showing you how I handle subtlety with the collage itself and applying it on a piece of, in an art journal page or a painting. So we are moving along. Oh yes, the white one. Love these. So it's black on the yellow or black on a light value, and I thought I just want to make a line, and I'm going to let it dry, and it's so very thick, it'll be so interesting. Just as is. Oh, and it needed a sprinkle. Ooh, I'm using white this time. Excellent. Yeah, still a little too thick there. The paint has to be just right in consistency to make a really nice splash. See how they're blobby? Don't really like them that much, but hey. There we go. I just added one more thing of water, one more dip. Okay, cool. And now, thinking about that collage, I thought, okay, what if I just used white as a layer on top of previous very high contrast layers, or anything that needed some calming down? So I realized that you guys couldn't see this in the camera, so I just put that page underneath, and I'm just large circles, small circles. And the repetitiveness is really interesting. It gets you sort of just an interesting state of mind, where you're not thinking, oh wow, and I went over that. See how that looks even better? So next time I'm going to do the thin circles all over the paper, and then come over with that. Now I've also used very thick paint, adding a medium with white stencils on this paper, and that's with a jelly plate. Oh, I can't wait to use that piece. And this piece of paper here, this encyclopedia, the gyroscope thing, I need lines. I didn't have enough lines. So, quick cleanup. And oh yes, so that's the extra thin brush, and I realized I know I wanted to make some collage with just layers and layers of lines in different colors. It's a very high energetic feel, and my work is all about emotion, feeling, imagery, all sorts of hidden things. I just love that. I work in a series of paintings that I have not showed yet, but that's coming up. And you see how the ochre, or the yellow oxide, I should say. So it just needed more blue, and then it needed some orange. Now with this set of papers that I've made, using the same color palette, see the color range all links together. Maybe not so much the collage pieces, but you can have this more of a unity because of the color palette that you use throughout all the pieces. And as you can see, this is without a jelly plate. You can use any kind of paper. It doesn't have to be fancy, just copy paper. And that's what I started with before I discovered the fun encyclopedias and all of those things. And here we go. I have so many different collage papers now. Now I don't know what to do with them. And I hope you create your own, and you can tear sections and have fun with your intuitive transparent layers, and I will see you in the next video.